I have a few big stories from various teams and likely the last moves before the start of the new season, so I wanted to quickly get my thoughts out on them. First off, we have Chengdu's finalized roster heading into Season 5. They have dropped APR1TA, YVELTAL, and Farway, as well as Korean on the coaching staff, leading them to have a very small roster now, with only one head coach. They also picked up Daisy, also known as Riven from Team Chaser. I'm honestly so sad about APR1TA. He really was the next leave, an absolute prodigy from contender with the jaw-dropping performances. He was absolutely dominant, and it just feels like he was cheated out of a fair shot due to the poverty org. I think the loss of him hurts the Hunters DPS lineup quite a bit. Hunters seems to be very strong, and while Leave is the top 3 hit scan in the league, only having Jinmu as the second DPS does hurt, as he historically has had flexibility issues, and overall couldn't keep up with Leave off of the Sombra and Pharah. YVELTAL being gone is also a downgrade to Nisha, but I feel like it would have happened sooner or later. YVELTAL clearly wasn't in it anymore. But the coaching losses are greatly unfortunate. They really went from Rui to only Yauxi in one offseason. Look, Yauxi is a great coach, and he was the mastermind behind Flag Gaming's upset over Team CC. But only having him as a coach? I'm not so sure about that. Riven at least is a great pickup though. While he's a downgrade from Late Young, the dude was farming in Chinese contenders and is a great pickup to round out the tank line. Overall, I'll get more into it in my team preview of the Hunters, but they really have squandered something beautiful here. And from one of the most flexible teams on paper to one of the smallest, though they did run out their tank line. Overall, I think they are still upper half global, at least on paper. Leave is still the best DPS in the world, fight me if you disagree. Monk and Nisha are solid, and Gaga is cracked out on almost everything he touches. It does help that the meta is favoring them right now. I can see them doing well right now, but I don't know, man. Team morale has to be low after this utter implosion just a week before the season starts, and Yauxi as the solo coach is worrying. On paper, this team is still top 3 APAC or possibly top 4. This probably drops them below Seoul for me. You guys will have to see how this affects my overall power rankings, but this is just really disappointing and a huge shame. Next story is that London have picked up Landon as their replacement to Provide. Honestly, a solid pickup with some issues. He's a really, really good Baptiste, like top of NA on the hero. But unfortunately, in the metas we've seen so far, Ana is the best flex support outside of that one double hit scan poke comp, which doesn't seem to be strong. He's a noticeable downgrade from Provide, but he is pretty solid. Unfortunately, this, on top of the fact that being a last minute change, cements them as the worst team in NA for me, and turns the backline into probably the worst in NA, despite how good I think Admiral is. Bit tragic, but that's more or less how I see it, unfortunately. Next up, the Philadelphia Fusion have signed main tank Belosria from T1. This is a pretty solid pickup, though I don't see him getting much playtime over Fury, but this is probably a direct signing for the Doom or Ryan meta. Most likely the Ryan meta, as that is Belosria's best hero. Solid pickup. I don't think Belosria is a lead or anything, and I don't think he lives up to many of the other main tanks in the region, and I don't think he'll be played too much over Fury in the first place, but he's definitely good to make the squad more meta-proof. Finally, the Valiant have picked up their 5th DPS player in Haker, as well as signing Haru. The Valiant can now make a full starting lineup with DPS players. No, but for real, this is a weird-ass signing. Hacker is a famous Sombra one-trick. He even admitted to being one. But he's really an incredible Sombra, like up there potentially with Lip and Doha if they develop him correctly. He's nuts. But doesn't add a whole lot to the roster. I think they're just going all on the Zarya comp that supposedly counters the Doom with a hit scan Sombra, which could make sense as I see Doom being strong in APAC, but will this work out? It'll be interesting to see. No-Hill definitely has a sort of plan. Haru was okay, I guess. He coached though for the one winner when they were incredibly solid in 2021, but he has an incredibly short resume, but I guess he's a good piece to round out the coaching staff alongside Woo-Hyul and No-Hill. Overall, it's a really weird team. They're probably the next Chengdu after the implosion. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out and managed to counter Shanghai and Chengdu on this comp, but it could backfire horribly. They're putting all their eggs in one basket. Trust in No-Hill though, please. Thanks for watching. Remember to hit like and subscribe for more. I upload nearly daily Overwatch League content, and I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs by the end of Season 5, so any subscription helps greatly. Thanks.